we have a new addition to the homestead. Tiny, tiny, tiny additions, actually. Our daughter was with our 87-year-old neighbor in his horse pasture, and they found tadpoles. And she could not be more excited. Brought him home in a Gatorade bottle, and then I had to look up how do we nurture these into frogs, because Lily will not leave their side. She wants them to sleep with her, starting to kind of understand that you can't have water in bed with you, just doesn't go right, and that the tadpoles need the water to live. I will say, I don't know if everybody's 3-year-olds like this. You can let me know in the comment section, but our daughter knows how to love things to death. She will touch them and hold them and feed them until they're like, we can't take it anymore. We just rather put us out of our misery. So with the tadpoles, I think we're explaining, like, we got to leave them alone. They're going to grow into frogs. But we had to research, well, what do we do? We're not going to go get like an expensive fish tank or anything. So it turns out this is what people recommended online. If you have tadpoles, you want to try to see if you can nurture them into frogs, get some kind of tank-like object. So we chose a Pyrex glass bowl that we usually put food in, and add gravel. So we have an area near the barn that for some reason has lots of little rocks. I'm not sure what was there before or why, but they're perfect for this. So we put a bunch of little rocks in. Then the recommendation was pull up some grass, specifically with a root, and have a little bit of the root. And I think another thing is I'm going to do scrape algae off the horse and cow tanks, water troughs, because I guess they like that too. And that's where they were. They were in our friend, our neighbor, E.T., Pastor E.T., they were in his horse water trough. That's where they found them. And there's plenty of algae in there. So put a little algae in and see what happens. It said to change it out, the water out once a week, and maybe every couple days you could add some lettuce or some more grass, spinach. We might do that. And we'll let you know. We'll definitely let you know if they make it to frogs. We're definitely going to do a video. Wasn't expecting that to be the next edition. Was really hoping baby goats might be in our future, but our friends did just have baby goats, so we're planning on visiting them. They are extremely cute. The Family Funny Farm on YouTube, go check them out. They have successfully done what we continue to fail at, which is reproducing their goats. Anyway, we're going to go visit them, so we're very excited about that. Wasn't expecting tadpoles and frogs to become our new friends, but this is our latest experiment. I have to say, I am very content that I have a life now where I could spend the morning researching how to raise tadpoles and then help Lily do that. Whereas my life before this, while I had a steady salary and benefits, I would never have had the time or even the mental capacity to handle what I did this morning, which seems dumb because mental capacity for frogs, I mean, what's the big deal? But as a reporter, as a TV reporter, I was stressed to the max from morning to night. And every morning I jumped out of bed and I'd read my Bible, I'd pray a little bit, but it was, I think, really just like a bridge to the next thing I had to do. It wasn't really present in the moment. And then I had to start making calls, figure out what I was going to do that day. And by 9:30, I had to have a story idea. Then, I had to go get my story, which meant doing all the interviews, driving to the interviews, shooting the interviews. I did it all myself for the most part. I didn't work with a photographer. And then I had to write the story, edit the story, voice the story, do all that stuff, and then be live. And then by the time I got home at 6:30, make your dinner, have a glass of wine while you're walking the dog, go to sleep, start it all over. Did I say dinner? Sometimes I had dinner. Anyway, start it all over the next day. There was no time for children. I still don't really know how women in my old business do it. I mean, obviously daycare is what everybody does. But not just for our kids, but for like me. I mean, I am so grateful to be out here looking at my cell phone, albeit my neighbors think I'm nuts. But I am so grateful to be out here looking at my cell phone in a garden, helping my daughter figure out how to turn a tadpole into a frog. And it's funny because as we're looking at homeschooling and everything, I get these books and it's like, all right, we got to learn letters, we got to learn this, and I realize, okay, that's the old way. That's the way Allison was, and we're trying to transition Allison into like being present and, you know, in the moment. And there's learning happening all the time, and this is learning. This is way cooler than just sitting down with a book and learning the alphabet. Not that that's not important, but when you have the opportunity, take it. And again, I've done a lot of videos about this so far on this channel. I really think that's where the rubber hits the road in life. Whatever you're doing is being able to say, like, what is the lesson in this moment? What's the opportunity in this moment? Good or bad? Like, what can I figure out about growing and presentness and mindfulness, self-awareness with what I've been given today? And not just today, but this minute. I don't know. That's where I'm at. I don't know about what you guys think, but that definitely seems to be the lesson gardening is teaching me, because you got to slow down. And I notice I have that same tendency our daughter does, you know, do, like she wants to feed the animals and pet the animals, and especially with the little critters cannot handle it. They can't handle all the activity, and so they die. And I think there's a lesson there somewhere for me, because I notice we have the same thing. Probably pass it on to her. Anyway, what do you all think? How do you raise tadpoles into frogs? Ever done it before? Leave me a comment. See you next time.